Something happened. Something was ignited in me when my mom passed away. I asked myself, those things that I had always wanted to accomplish, when am I able to do that? I was in a very good paid job, but I had so many things I wanted to achieve, and I didn't think the salary job would do it for me. And so, I left my job. Guess what made begin me and it riddled me crazy. Who leaves that kind of a job? In Nigeria, oil and gas job is like everything, and I dared to leave it. Yes, I left it. And 5 years after, I decided it was time to clear my cobweb, and I went to my sister-in-law in the US. I just needed space for my healing. I needed to find meaning to all those things that were busy going up in my mind. While I was with her, I wrote an unsolicited email saying there was a cancer control conference in California. I told my sister-in-law, she said, come on, it's so far away. It's going to cost you a lot. I said, you know what? This conference, I think it's the worst thing that I have been waiting for. Mind you, an unsolicited email, it just flew in. And so we found the cheapest way of getting there, and I arrived at this conference. I was like someone in a candy store. Everybody I had spoken with were cancer survivors. I was taken aback. In fact, I ran out. It wasn't the time of the big phones, it was 2013. So I ran out and bought a recorder. I ended up recording about 40 people. And one thing ran through all his set. They said they ate organic food. I'm like, what is it? They said it is food that has been grown without chemicals and synthetic inputs. Really, organic food? That moment was pivotal for me. I decided that I was going to come to Nigeria and set up an organic farm. I came back and they said, you will lose money. You will not make it. It will fail. You must be crazy. You are weird. You're still so stubborn about your idea. I didn't start with his vanity, which is what I preach now. I bought acres of land and decided that I was on the farm. Even the villagers didn't believe that it was a woman who owned that kind of land. They thought I was a front for a gentleman. Well, we started. Then the scourge of disappointment came. The first one was when I lost 600 stands of tomatoes. I got a consultant to come in. He was still excited, hoping that when he comes, look for hopes of miracle. He arrived and looked at that and said, this is organic. You know, prevention. That is what organic needs. These things have come. There's nothing we can do. You've lost all of them. And first thought was, all that money that I paid to bring in, this is what he's come to tell me. Shortly after, we had cucumber beetles. They came to attack 400 or 500 stands of cucumbers. But that one, I thought I had it in my pocket because I was able to read that if I got the beans of tobacco, soak them in water, and use the water to spray it, the cucumber geckos will go away. And that was all we did. That night, I slept like a baby with confidence that it looks like as if I have this thing in my pocket. But it can't believe what happened the next morning. It was like somebody had put fire into the place Everything was burnt. I didn't know tobacco was that powerful. Everything. There was no sign that we had planted cucumbers there. Customers were waiting. The agitation was higher. People were calling me, you don't need to lose all this money because you want to stay organic. I told myself, if I wouldn't do it, then I would close shop completely because I was not going to spray chemicals on my farm. What did I do? I increased. I looked for knowledge. I was going online, and things turned around. We even started harvesting. I remember the first time we harvested 400 kg of sweet corn, all organically grown. We celebrated. Oh, guess what? We got another hollow. We didn't know who to sell them to. I planned that there was a market, And then I asked my driver, what am I going to do? What am I going to sell these things to? I said, let's go market. And then remembered that I had a customer in one of the markets. So we reached out to him and he says, yes, bring them. I will sell these items for you. So he got someone to take a corn. He took the lettuce, the cucumber. We were all excited, but I was afraid. You won't believe it. The next day, I have caught him with trepidation because I didn't know who was buying these things. And then he came and said, bring more, bring more. I'm like, bring more what? He said, the things you bought yesterday, I said all of them. People buy them. People say there's flavor. People say this. It was just going on and on. I'm like, oh. But there was so many then say, if I walk customer, I say, I've been organic. That gave birth to two new ideas. Why would I go through all that effort only for the people who are buying my produce not to know that I'm the one putting in all of that effort to get them what they so like? Then I needed to connect with my customers because if they know the value, I needed to know them and connect. So I had a family meeting and one of my sisters said, I own a store in a shopping mall. Let me ask the authorities so that you come and sell every Friday morning. Guess what? We started selling there Friday mornings. People will come, they'll park their cars when they drop their children. And the next questions were, so must we always come to this car park? Because I didn't own a store. I was just in the car park with my big brolly. And I said, what would you like? Please supply me at home. Or supply us at home. Soon after, we started supplying people at home. Our levels had changed. That was 12 years ago. Today, this same farm, Ope Farm, is a certified organic farm in Ogun State. We have supplied hundreds of homes. We do that every Friday. Lecturers from the neighboring universities started visiting to come and confirm, is it true? When they enter the farm, do you know the people they speak with? The workers. Show us the chemicals that you have used here. And then they will look at them like, no, we don't use them. Okay, tell us, what do you use? And the workers will tell them how we mix ginger, garlic, and all of those things. Then we had naturopaths who started visiting the farm because they started finding rare medicinal plants that were allowed to grow on their own. I remember telling one of the naturopaths when he looked at a particular plant, and I said, oh, I don't even know. I don't know where I bought it from. The man looked at me and said, no, you didn't buy it. It grows where it finds itself, accommodating and ready to grow. I'm like, wow. So yes, and a very rare one at that. Another thing, the Agric Commissioner for Ogun State got to her office and said, I found an organic farm on Instagram. I want us to go and visit. And she said, everybody in her office said, in this Ogun State, no, we don't have any of such. She said, you people are not on social media. I saw the lady, and that was how the state government also came to visit. Now, remember the car park where we used to sell. One day, they had a store that was free. And they asked the other store owners, we need someone to occupy this place. And guess what? All of them said, call Ope Farms. Long after she left, people were still coming here to ask. Today, we own a store at that same shopping mall. It didn't stop at that. Even the global world noticed us. BBC, the same BBC, visited our farm. I got a call saying, this is Rosalind Collier. I would like to visit your farm. My first was, scam. But the diction was so good. I thought, it couldn't be. And then she said, we listed all the farms that called themselves organic. You are the only one who said we could come. And so we were featured on BBC. Then, France 24, they read the news and they said they too were coming, and they came. People started noticing us. By that time, I had become a speaker and a keynote speaker in probably over 100 speaking engagements. In 2024, all expense paid, GIZ through their program KCOA found me and sponsored me to Nuremberg, where I attended BioFac. BioFac is the largest organic exhibition in the world. I was meant to speak in one room. I ended up speaking in about 4 rooms, just to inspire others that this is possible. I was at the WTO in Switzerland to talk about our work with the women, because I have trained over 3,000 people since 2015. Remember, I started 2013. The minute I realized that I knew enough, I started teaching others, and we were recognized for that. Now, these are the lessons I've learned from my experience, because it's not about me. The world will put you in boxes. But in my own dictionary, boxes are meant for produce, not for human beings. Decide within you, what exactly are you planning to do that you really want to do? Your value will grow over time. It is never instant. Build a community, nurture it. Another thing, for those of you listening to me today, what labels have they given you? Think about it. I ask you, turn those labels on their head. Do not sit in shame with any label that you're given. It's okay to be called those labels. Let them tell you that you're too hard, too soft, too ambitious. Yes, be ambitious to dare them and achieve. Be soft enough to care. Believe that you are no longer going to stay under the shade. You need to come out, step out, and shine. You rise above your labels. You can do it when you put your mind to it. Let today be the day that you start to shine. I'm Olusola Sowemimo. I have pledged that no one should die for the food on their plate, because there are options. Call me stubborn, call me weird. I'm okay with it, because where I stand, this soil we stand on heals us. And so, word does wonders in my own dictionary. Thank you.